Welcome to the Team Ottawa podcast, and I'm here with Mayor Mark Sutcliffe. And we've spoken
Hello, Sam.
before. Nice to see you.
You always jump right into it.
Do.
You never say hi to me.
I know. It's because I've got so much to talk about.
I know. I'm
and
just
you've got
teasing
so
you.
much to talk
Yeah.
about as well. And I have to say, we've spoke about this before, that one of the things that surprises you as mayor is how many times you're dealing with the other levels
Yeah.
of government. This week is the perfect example. Let's start with the province.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on this week, and I know we say that every week, right? That it's been a very busy week, but this week in particular, there have been a number of big announcements and developments. And first of all, we hosted Ontario Transportation Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria at the Mayor's Breakfast on Tuesday, and he's the Minister of Transportation for the province, which is a big responsibility, and we signed an agreement at that event, a memorandum of understanding, to advance the upload of Ottawa's LRT to the provincial agency Metrolinx, and to advance the upload of Highway 174 in the east end of our city. Everybody knows about Highway 174. It was originally a provincial road. It was downloaded to the municipality. Everybody thought that was unfair. They're fixing that. To their credit, the province is fixing that by uploading it again to the province, because when you're driving on that, it feels like a provincial 400 series highway.
100%.
So that's the right thing to do, and it's great for the residents of Orleans and the east end of our city. The LRT upload, people often ask me, well, what does it mean if the province uploads the LRT? They've made a commitment now that they are going to take over the ownership and maintenance of our LRT, which shifts a $4 billion burden from the people of Ottawa to the province of Ontario. So that's great news for taxpayers. All of the risk associated with this project that we have been bearing almost entirely on our own will now be shifted to the province. And they have an agency, Metrolinx, that is in the light rail business. This is what they do. So they're much better positioned to manage this project and to deal with some of the issues that we've been facing. Anything we've faced in Ottawa, they've seen it all before with other light rail projects that they've done. And it basically has an impact of $85 million a year on our transit budget. That's money we can reinvest in better and more reliable OC Transpo service for our passengers. So it's a great financial deal. It's a great partnership because it means we're going to get faster solutions to some of the problems we've had with light rail. And it means we can reinvest the savings from the LRT back into public transit, better public transit for the residents of Ottawa. So this is a great deal for the taxpayers of Ottawa, for the users of OC Transpo. It's a great deal for Ottawa residents, and I'm really excited that we have a signed deal now to keep it moving forward.
Yeah, definitely exciting for sure. And you spend time with Prime Minister Mark Carney this week.
Yeah, this is a big milestone for Ottawa. We want to say yes to housing in Ottawa. I say that all the time. We want to be the most housing-friendly city in Canada. And in December, the Prime Minister and I were together at the Mayor's Breakfast, a big event at the Rogers Centre, 1,100 people there, and we signed an agreement at that event. Now, 4 or 5 months later, that agreement has been finalized, and we are moving forward together to build 3,000 new homes in Ottawa, the majority of which will be available at below market or well below market prices. And this is very exciting for our city. We want to build more homes. We want to build them faster. This deal represents two ways that we can build homes faster in our city. Number one, the federal government is giving us $150 million. And with that money, we're going to build more than 1,000 affordable units that are in our pipeline right now that are ready to go. Within the next couple of years, the work is going to start on all 1,100 of those units. So we're moving fast on that. In addition, the federal government is going to build up to 2,000 units on federally owned land in our city. We're the nation's capital. There's a lot of federal land in our city. It makes sense that at a time of a housing crisis, we should be building homes on federal land. So we're working with the federal government to make it as easy and as fast as possible for them to build homes on federal land. So in total, this is a multi-$100 million deal to build more than 3,000 homes in our city, including some affordable housing. It's Great deal.
Really, really good news. And on top of all that this week, I tuned in, of course, to council, and I noticed you were wearing your Sens jersey.
Yes, I was.
And that was great to have that moment at City
Spent a
Council.
lot of time, on the Sens Mile and at Canadian Tire Center this week, and I know it's been a frustrating series, but we've it's been great having playoff hockey in our city, and I'm hoping we'll soon see the Charge in the playoffs as well.
Can't wait. There was some very serious business
Yes.
also happening at council. The bubble bylaw, as we referred to it.
Yeah.
Walk me through why this was such an important day.
Yeah, this is very important, and I'm really pleased that the bubble bylaw, as it's called, was adopted by council by a vote of 20-4. So it was a very, very broad consensus of councillors who supported moving forward with this bubble bylaw. What is a bubble bylaw? First of all, I want to say, we all support and defend the right of people to demonstrate and protest. We're the capital of Canada. This is a part of our democracy for people to have freedom of speech, freedom to demonstrate. Nobody is trying to stop that from happening. At the same time, I think that I think a lot of people feel it's reasonable that parents who are walking their kids to school, people who are walking into a place of worship, people who are going to visit a loved one in a senior center or a hospital should have the right to have access to those facilities without being obstructed, without being intimidated by some type of demonstration or protest. So it's really important that we protect both those rights, and we have to strike a balance between them. So the bubble bylaw strives to strike that balance, and a lot of work went into it. A lot of very passionate feelings were expressed by members of council, and I respect the points of view on all sides of this issue. But we struck a very careful balance to make sure that we're allowing access for people to go into churches and synagogues and mosques and schools and other religious spaces, other community spaces, hospitals, retirement homes, but at the same time allowing people to demonstrate when they are wanting to express their views on an issue. We struck a balance. I think it's the right balance. And if it wasn't the right balance, then I don't think 20 members of City Council would have supported it. I think that shows we found a sweet spot and we found consensus, and I'm very proud of that. And I've heard lots of great feedback from the community that they're pleased to see us moving forward with this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that explanation. I think it's important for people to understand how important that is in our city. You've also been monitoring all of the spring floods.
Yeah.
I know our city is prone to some of those. You've been watching closely, and of course, there's volunteers out helping as well. Give us a bit of an update, Mayor.
Yeah, the water levels have been very high this year. And once again this year, as I've done a couple of other times, because it happens almost every year, I've been visiting the affected areas, and in particular in the west end of our city, in West Carleton March Ward, there's been a lot of flooding that's been taking place, and I walked down the street of some of the houses that are affected. I visited with the volunteers and the emergency officials who are filling tens of thousands of sandbags and checking on residents. Our emergency workers were out knocking on doors, making sure people were okay. Volunteers have been sandbagging, and it's just great to see the community coming together. It's really, really inspiring and powerful to witness that. Our Emergency Operations Center has been fully deployed. We're ready to help everybody as needed. We'll continue to monitor the situation. There's likely to be another peak in the water level coming up in another week or so, somewhere between a week and 2 weeks maybe. So we'll be ready for that, and we'll be supporting everybody who is affected. But I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers who have been doing such great work.
Ironically, during Volunteer Week.
That's right. You're right. Yes. It is Volunteer Week. We proclaimed that on Friday, and very, very cool. Volunteer Ottawa is a great organization. We are a city of volunteers, very kind-hearted people who devote their time and energy to really important causes, including supporting those affected by the floods.
Absolutely. Thanks for the update.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much to Mayor Mark Sutcliffe. This is the Team Ottawa podcast. Thanks so much for spending time with us.